For the past year or so, I've been working on growing this Mario collection for $0 out of pocket. For the most part, I do that by buying big lots of games, selling them off individually for profit, and then keeping back the ones that I don't have for my collection. If you want to watch from the beginning, you can check out the MarioMania playlist, which I'll link above. This will be my first time going through and showing my collection, so if you have some ideas on how I can format this in the future, please let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm just going to separate them by system, go through and show you each game, and then show you my favorite game or two from each system. And then at the very end, I'll give you a total of how many games I have and the total value of those games according to GameEye, which is how I've been keeping track of the collection. I do have a list of Mario games that I found online, and I've kind of added some and taken some off. So I'm not really collecting PAL versions or Japanese versions of games, but there are a few cases in which I've just come across them, so I decided to keep them for the collection. So I did add them to the list just because it's kind of my personal list. If you do want a list, I'm going to try to figure out how to put it in a Google Doc in the description, so hopefully it will be there by the time you're watching this video. I'm also adding some Wario games and Yoshi games and just different games within the Mario universe as I come across them. Right now, my list has a total of 223 different games. I don't have near that many, and I'm sure that I am missing some. So as I go through this list here in just a second, if you notice something that's missing, then please let me know and I'll be adding it to the list. I'll start out with the first system and the first game on the list, and that is Mario Bros. For the Atari 2600. I didn't even know that this game existed until I met a guy, sold him a bunch of stuff, and he included this as a partial trade. Mario's Game Gallery is the only PC game on my list, and it just happened to be included in a big game bundle that I bought. Here are my NES games, beginning with cartridge only. I have two copies of Mario Duck Hunt Track Meet, one where Mario is wearing red overalls, and the other where he's wearing white overalls. I'm not really trying to collect different variants, but if I do come across them, I usually keep them. This is another variant. On this copy, the Bros is on the left side, and it's just a little bit more valuable than the one where the Bros is in the middle. The rest of my NES games are complete in box. A really cool seller threw in this copy of Dr. Mario. It's not sealed, but it does still have the original plastic intact. It was just opened from the top. It's in great shape, and it's the only one in my collection that I would consider getting graded. I have 17 out of 21 NES games on my list. For my Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, I only have the cartridges, so nothing complete yet. The goal is to eventually get everything complete. None of these games are very valuable. Wario 2 and 3 are the most valuable here at $26 and $30. I have 13 out of 24 Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. I have two games for the Virtual Boy, that's Mario's Tennis and Wario Land. The only one that I'm missing is Mario Clash, so I have 2 out of 3. Here are my games for the Super Nintendo. Mario RPG is my favorite Super Nintendo game. I've got the cartridge and the manual, but no box. The rest of the games are complete. I've got 14 out of 17 Super Nintendo games. The only ones that I'm missing are Tetris Attack, Wario's Woods, and Mario's Early Years Fun with Numbers. So like I said, I don't really collect Japanese games, but I did happen to come across Mario Kart, the Japanese version, and so I decided to keep that one back for the collection. Right now, it's the only cartridge-only game that I have for the N64. Mario Party, Mario Party 2, and Mario Tennis are all complete. I sold a lot of my Switch games and N64 carts to pay for the only graded games in my collection, Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64. They're valued somewhere around $400 each. I have 6 out of 12 N64 games on my list. All of my Nintendo DS games here are complete in the boxes. The most valuable DS game that I own is Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story because it's still sealed. I have 12 out of the 20 games on my list. The 3DS is the system that has the most Mario games, and I'm missing more Mario games on the 3DS than any other system. I only have 10 out of 27 games here, with the most valuable being Mario Party Star Rush, still sealed. I think I have every Mario game for the Wii, but if you notice something that I'm missing, please let me know in the comments. Mario Party 9 is my most valuable game here at $53. I have 19 out of the 19 Wii games on my list. I don't have many Game Boy Advance games because I sold a few, and I've been trying to collect them complete. I have 4 of 18 games on my list, but my copy of WarioWare Twisted is fully complete, really nice, and one of the most valuable games in my collection. I'm not a sponsor, but if you need different size protectors like this one, check out retroprotection.com. On average, GameCube Mario games are the most valuable. I have 3 GameCube games that I haven't seen very often. One is Dance Dance Revolution, complete with the box and game mat. I also have big box versions of Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7. It's hard to find comps on these, but I'd guess the Mario Party games are worth somewhere around $150 to $200 each. I have 12 of 16 GameCube games. Here are my games for the Wii U. I came across a bundle that had quite a few sealed games, including these 5 games. Paper Mario Color Splash is the most valuable game at somewhere around $60. I have 14 of 17 Wii U games, and I'm only missing Nintendo Land, Captain Toad, and Game & Wario. I sold off most of my Switch games to buy the 2 graded N64 games, but I'm working on building it back. Right now, the only sealed game that I have is Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which goes for about $110. I have 12 of the 24 Switch games on my list. So unless I miscounted, which is definitely possible, I have 137 out of 223 games on the list. According to GameEye, the total value is $5,183, but that does not take into account the graded games or the big boxed versions of the games. My goal is still to collect all of the Mario games across all the systems, and then as I can, try to get them complete with boxes, manuals, and everything. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and until next time, thanks for watching.